Welcome to the Nailsin Ratings, and once again, going to talk about Doctor Who because, well, I get more hits when I do that. This is a video I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. I thought I would wait till the end of the 11th season or series and discuss certain topics such as what might have been. You've got a lot of franchises out there that are in some amount of turmoil and downright failure, with problems with Star Wars and Star Trek and so forth, and some of the superhero franchises and all that. And one of the big frustrations that keeps coming up is always, what might have been or missed opportunities. And it really gnaws at a fan over something like that, especially when it seems like it was pretty obvious what you could have done. And that's no different in the case of Doctor Who. And I've experienced this quite a lot over the years of New Who, of missed opportunities, teases that didn't really pay off if they did at all, and that sort of thing, which was one of the bigger irritations for me, not just, political messaging and all that sort of stuff, which is definitely there and certainly takes one out of the show or the story. The missed opportunities is one that really gnaws at it. So Peter Capaldi, who was never really appreciated, his talent, and in my opinion, he was the best of the New Who doctors, but he never really got a script that was worthy of his talent. And he had some moments that he got, and some that were pretty close, and some that were okay and pretty good here and there, and one that would have been probably a classic if it wasn't ruined by the follow-up. Yeah. Yeah, remember that when the ending, you saw it was all about Gallifrey, and like, oh man, this is gonna be cool. And no, hey, look, the Doctor eating soup. Yeah, so yeah, it's tough and it's a shame, but hey, maybe Peter Capaldi can get some good stories at Big Finish. Which, Big Finish. If you want some great Doctor Who, your chances are much better over there than you'll get on television. That's just the sad truth of it. But anyway, so the big push was for a female Doctor, and so much so that if they had cast another man to replace Capaldi, that probably would have been a big upset there too. So, and plus, this was in the works for quite some time. The little teases were just getting another thing that was taking you out of the show. It was pretty obvious that there would be a woman succeeding Capaldi, and no doubt they didn't know who that would be at the time for a while, because I think it's pretty obvious they didn't get their first choice. But nevertheless, a female Doctor is what we got. So what do you do here? What were you going to do? What are the great innovative stories that you wanted to explore, especially with the idea of a long-standing male hero suddenly being transformed into a woman and all that? No. You did absolutely nothing. It's another example of using politics, gender politics, identity politics, all that stuff, to cover up and to give a shield to just lackluster plots, if there are any at all, and lack of ideas and no passion whatsoever, just the messaging. And if you don't like the shows, then oh boy, you're a misogynist and what have you. So that's all you get, and that's the sad part about it. So to go through all this trouble and to kind of, turn over the apple cart of Doctor Who for that is just unforgivable. It worked in the sense that the curiosity factor certainly gave it high ratings, and the ratings are better than Capaldi's last season, but the trend is downward, and there's no denying that, because the curiosity factor can only go so far, and there's nothing there. Maybe the last 2 episodes will turn it around, but at this point, It doesn't look like it. I'm extremely dubious, but yes, there's one more episode as I'm recording this, and then there's the New Year's special. And, oh, maybe they'll turn her around. They even gave her a scarf. Yeah, how about that, huh? Look, a scarf. So, yeah, but the big shame of it is that it's just another missed opportunity and wasted. The obvious thing to do would be to have the Doctor have to deal with this new experience. There's been some talk that Chibnall wants to rewrite the Doctor's history to where the Doctor was originally a woman and was always a woman, and yeah, all these men we've had for 50 years, they were the frauds. But no, the Capaldi's last episode clearly established that all that little theories and rumors and ideas that there were other incarnations of the Doctor before Hartnell is just nonsense, because the final episode revealed that that was the first time the Doctor regenerated, and to fit it in with the plot of denying a regeneration, as Capaldi's Doctor was doing because he was depressed, and for Hartnell's Doctor to do it because he was scared, because he had never done it before. And so it was hard for him to let go of who he had been, who he was. And so that clearly established it, that was the first time it happened. And so it's nonsense to mess with the backstory and all that. For why? You know, again, the politics of it outweighs the need for plot and story and continuity of a 50-year-old some odd franchise. And to keep pushing the future is female and all that divisive, misandrist bigotry is a terrible thing to do, and more so because it seems to be only a shield to cover up laziness. The obvious thing to do was, of course, the Doctor dealing with the transition, and that this was a new experience, and she would have difficulty adjusting, but eventually would adapt. So I wouldn't do more than 2 episodes of that alongside having to deal with some menace, preferably something better than the evil Tooth Fairy and pieces of cloth. But what have you, the main core of adjusting to a new Doctor would go a long way with some powerful performances there. I was unfamiliar with Jodie Whittaker, but from what I heard, that she tended to play these rather dark and depressing characters from some serious dramas and what have you, and that might have played to her strengths for her Doctor, rather than this bad David Tennant impression and goofy nonsense and holding the sonic screwdriver like a phaser. But that probably would have gone a long way for her Doctor to be more accepted to play to the characters that she's good at, if that's the case, But another thing I think would have helped was when the Doctor regenerates. It's hard for the experience to be displayed when nobody around her would know what happened. So you should have kept at least Bill Potts for another few episodes, or at least for the season. And interesting enough, Bill Potts' fate was to be turned into a Cyberman. Yes, poor Bill Potts became a Cyberman in Capaldi's last episode, and then Capaldi regenerates into a woman. And so you have these two sort of mirror experiences between the two, where the Doctor's dealing with becoming a woman. Bill Potts has got to deal with having been turned into a Cyberman. And meanwhile, Bill Potts could be helpful to the Doctor dealing with this experience. Plus, yeah, considering Bill's interests, there could be that too. So that's an interesting play on that, and you could explore those ideas for the story, and then eventually the Doctor adapts, hopefully in a better outfit than the one they gave her, but that's probably wishful thinking. And then you go forward from there, and preferably a doctor that would play to what Jodie's strengths rather than this a goofy, bad David Tennant impression that just doesn't work. Meanwhile, you'd have an ongoing storyline of the Doctor trying to restore Bill Potts to her former self, and possibly failing in that Bill Potts would probably, in some adventure, sacrifice herself to save the Doctor, and it's all very sad, and all that sort of thing. And there again plays to a darker tone at some points, and you might even get yourself a new Earthshock scenario, and the potential for drama that again probably would play to Whittaker's strengths, and or she succeeds, I don't know, clones her a new body and transplants her brain in it. Look, it's science fiction, it's a big universe. Anything could happen. And stuff like that, but to think of new ideas and creative, interesting sci-fi elements rather than just slap job jokes and bad impressions of not just David Tennant, but of Douglas Adams. None of you are Douglas Adams. Don't even try to be Douglas Adams. So it's too bad we don't have Douglas Adams anymore, but and none of you measure up. So it's best not to even try. But Doctor Who has 50 years of lore for you to exploit, and avenues and areas that haven't quite been fully explored yet, like regeneration and how does it work and what's the science of it, and the medical science and stuff like that. And but no, didn't do it. And boy, what a ginormous missed opportunity, because this is the first time it's happened to the Doctor, and it should have been presented as such and used, and you could have exploited that to its fullest, and probably would have had a very classic episode, provided you had the writers who could pull that off. So, which you don't. So maybe it's just for the best. I don't know. It's that again. Yeah, very annoying that missed opportunities. More, even sometimes even more so than the preaching, when you see a beloved franchise just destroy itself. It's all very sad. So I'm gonna miss you, Doctor Who. We had some good times, but the Doctor is no longer in. Yeah. Well, no, we still have Dr. Woke. Hey, how about that, huh? Yeah, we got Dr. Woke. Oh, jeez. So. But, there's 2 more episodes. Maybe it'll turn around, huh? Yeah? No? Oh, boy. Well, thank you for watching and listening. And why not like and subscribe? Yeah. And, hey, take a look at the link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Say, friends, check out Nailsin Theater at sellfy.com/Nailsin. Yes, there you'll find my poor man Mystery Science Theater treatment of public domain movies that really deserve the treatment. Yes, you can head over there and check out the links to my trailers to such films on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you can preview them and then head over back to sellfy.com/Nailsin and purchase yourself some Mr. Nailsin treatments of movies. I'll be right there to guide you through it.